Most Americans, whether you lean left, whether you lean right, whether you're Republican or Democrat, you'd agree that the men and women of the armed services deserve their country's full support, especially financially. One man feels that our troops are overpaid. That's only the beginning. ForsakeOurTroops.info calls wounded soldiers leeches, celebrates when a serviceman is killed in action. Joining us now is the creator of ForsakeOurTroops.info, is Michael Crook. Let's just go through this here step by step. Your goal is to bring attention partly to the military issue. You say it's not a joke, it's not a hoax, is that correct?
That's correct. I'm very serious about what I'm doing.
Okay. You say, don't military pukes learn anything. You put that on your website, correct?
That is correct.
9 more Marines bite the big one in combat. Stupid is as stupid does. You put that up there, sir?
That is correct.
Yeah, by the way, those people that you're calling stupid that bite the dust allow morons like you to say stupid things like that, by the way. You call our troops these scumbags who probably couldn't hack it in the workforce. The U.S. soldier is a poster child for retroactive abortion. That's how you feel, sir?
That is honestly how I feel.
Uh-huh. Do you realize, I mean, it's really hardly worth talking to you because you're not a very bright person. But just for the sake of for our audience learning that such people like you exist, do you realize you wouldn't have the opportunity to be such an idiot if it weren't for U.S. troops serving and protecting your liberties and freedoms? Do you understand that at all? Do you have any concept of that?
Well, actually, what's chaotic is the pay structure that our military is receiving.
I didn't ask you about the pay structure. Do you realize you wouldn't have the voice to call our troops scumbags? You wouldn't have the voice to say that American soldiers are the poster child for retroactive abortion if they didn't pave the way for your liberty to say that. Do you understand that?
To some degree, yes. To
some degree. So then why would you say that about people that give you the freedom to say stupid things like that?
Well, you know, as I alluded to just moments ago, you know, the pay structure and just the way that the
I didn't ask you about the pay structure. Why you wouldn't be able to say it unless they put their lives on the line for you, would you? Because you wouldn't have the freedom to say it. Isn't that true, sir?
That may or may not be true.
May or may not be true, or it is true, sir?
Well, I mean, you know, we do have the freedom of speech. And
there is no. Michael, think just an inch deep below the surface. There is no freedom of speech unless they protect it for you. Isn't that true, Michael?
Fine, that is true.
So then why would you say such horrible things about people that give you such a gift?
Well, it really isn't, you know, I don't really look at it as a gift. I look at it as a right.
Freedom of speech isn't a gift? They're not protecting it for you, or they are?
Well, how are they protecting?
You just admitted. I know it's hard to follow your own thought pattern. You just admitted they give you the right. Why can't you be respectful for those that would protect it for you?
Well, I have an opinion to share, and I'm doing that. And if people feel that's disrespectful, then so be it.
But why would you do it to the people that give it to you? Why are you so thoughtless, so mean, and so cruel?
I don't really see it as being thoughtless, mean, or cruel. I see it as being factual and calling the nation's attention to something.
Michael, it's Alan. I want you to understand this.
Good luck.
I'm not going to personally insult you, but I do want to understand where you're coming from here. If you're upset with the pay structure, if you're upset with the military and what they're doing, isn't your problem really with the government, with the policies, the people who set the policy? Why isn't your wrath directed there rather than the people who are fighting the battles?
Well, I mean, these people are, you know, we're not in a draft situation right now, so these people are voluntarily going into something where, I mean, you have, you know, base salary, housing, special duty.
Right, but that's their choice. They made a choice to do that. Your problem with the military, and you're right, they don't get paid enough. They don't have good enough benefits. They are not often treated well when they come back from war, and that's been historical in this country. Why isn't your anger properly directed at the policymakers responsible for that?
Because the soldiers are just as guilty jumping on the bandwagon here. I mean,
they're just as guilty when these people join the military. They get in the military with the idea of defending their country. They don't choose their battles. They didn't realize, some of them, when they went in, that we would be attacked on September 11th. So how can you possibly attack the people who made that choice? I don't understand why your anger is directed that way.
Well, the soldiers, when they join, are not necessarily joining to protect their country when the military is throwing educational bribery at them and all sorts of these wonderful, you know, bribery.
So these people are just stupid and don't know any better and making bad choices with their lives because they're idiots.
Well, I mean, look at the people, we just had 3 soldiers die yesterday. I mean,
and it's their fault?
What are they dying
it's their
for? What
fault?
are they dying for?
Wait, you're blaming the soldiers who died? It's their fault?
Well, they signed the dotted line, didn't they?
Now, what if we were attacked? If our country, we were attacked, by the way, and what if we were further attacked? Shouldn't we have a military? You may not agree with Iraq. I don't agree with the war in Iraq. But should we not have a standing military to protect this country in the event of attack?
Well, absolutely we should. All I'm saying is that the compensation package and how they're being paid...
Who makes the compensation package? Is the compensation package created by the people who join the military? Shouldn't you be fighting? If that's your battle, why don't you fight for the military to get better compensation and better benefits, if that's your argument?
Because anybody with a lick of common sense can see that this is just a horrible, abuse of our tax
You're fighting
money.
the wrong battle.
Michael, you're ignorant and you're a disgrace. Go back
I'm
to
not
school.
ignoring
Go back to
anything.
school and get an education.
And it's for safe
And learn something. You wouldn't have the right to say anything if it weren't for these people. You are heartless, you are soulless, you are mean, and you are cruel. And you ought to apologize to these troops because you wouldn't have a voice without them.
Thanks.
You've wasted our time. We check in with Greta Van Sus.